Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah, and today we are doing another video in my low spend year series where we take a look at the previous month and see how I did with my spending. If you'd like an overview of the series, I'll plop the playlist down below. It started back in January as low spend year may, fuck it. Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah, and today we are going to be taking a look at how I did in the month of November for my low spend year. If you want some more information on the series or just to start from the beginning, I will plop a playlist down below. Go back, start with January, the beginning of the year for most people. And there's more of an explanation in that first video about why I'm doing this, but long story short, I wanted to pay off my car by the end of the year. And then in April, changing interest rates kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in the plan of how I was going about that. And I ended up just taking money out of my savings to pay off my car loan because it didn't make sense mathematically to hold on to that money in my savings account versus putting it towards my debt. So for the rest of the year, I have been paying myself back and trying to build up my savings account. Let's go ahead and take a look at how I did in November. So for November, our total household expenses ended up being $5,951.08. So that was a little bit on the more expensive side. That total, per usual, includes mortgage and escrow, insurances, internet, groceries, all the utilities, electricity, gas, water, sewer, internet, which I think I already said, phone lines, our HOA, we do have an Amazon Prime subscription, and then the kids' expenses like healthcare, health insurance, diapers, activities, all that sort of thing, and daycare, which is an amazingly huge expense. So of that total, about $3,000 of it was actually daycare tuition. So that's the big household picture. This month, my part of that was $2,975.54. So like I said, when it starts, the months where it's closer to $2,500 definitely feel more comfortable on my income than the months where it creeps up towards $3,000. But it's just this month and next month I know are going to typically be a little bit more expensive. Last month we did travel up to Virginia for a family member's 100th birthday party. We stayed overnight, so we were eating out. We were, doing activities with the kids. And that total does include the beginning of the Christmas shopping season that we are doing, as well as just little holiday activities here and there. We haven't done anything too expensive holiday activity-wise, but for example, we went to watch the parade, the Christmas parade in our area, and we're out there. This parade is amazingly long, and of course the kids want to see Santa Claus at the end, so you end up buying a sandwich because we ran out of all the snacks that we brought with us, or a coffee because it's cold, or it's those types of things that add up. So let's take a look at my personal expenses now. This month I spent $50.22 on gas for the car. $69.58 went towards kind of necessary miscellaneous expenses. This is generally like toiletries, small incidentals like that, vitamins, these sorts of things. I spent $263.62 in my gifts and donation categories. A lot of that was Christmas shopping. I tried to spread out my Christmas shopping between last month and this month in December, just to balance it out. So like my side of the family, I pay for out of my personal expenses. So most of that was on last month's bills. What else? My fun spending totaled $92.75. The main expenses for that were going out for meals or coffee with friends, work friends, non-work friends. And we just tend to do a little bit more of that as the winter approaches. Our schedules at work slow down just a little bit. and people tend to start taking vacations and stuff. So there's a little bit more time to socialize and kind of make those bonds at work. And also just seeing friends at this time of year is, people have more time off, so it's easier to do that. What else? I also got a digital advent calendar for myself to kind of stay a little bit more connected with the season. So I just get email prompts of seasonal things to do, and I've really been enjoying that. So that was my fun spending. All of my personal expenses together added up to $476.17. So that wasn't too bad, since what did I say? Like about a little over 250 of that was Christmas shopping, and then other things were experiences with friends, which are technically allowed under my low spend year rules. The grand total of expenses with both my household and my personal expenses was $3,451.71. Moving on now to income. This is the last month where my income is fairly predictable. My income will change for my December paycheck because my healthcare costs are going up. But November's paycheck was $3,761.20. My income less my expenses this month. So what are the results? What did I have left over to transfer to savings? Was $309.49. Now, I will admit, normally immediately after I pay my bills, I will transfer that amount over to my savings account, my high yield savings that I'm trying to build back up. I did not do that this month. I waited quite a while to make that transfer because I was getting a little bit nervous. I knew the rest of Christmas was going to be on December's paycheck, so I thought about holding on to that money and carrying it over into next month. I also know that my December paycheck is going to be lower. I'll try not to go into it too much, but like I just said, my healthcare costs are going up, and I work for the state government of North Carolina, and not like in a political realm, but I am a government employee. I'm a state government employee, and they still have not passed a budget. The budget was supposed to go into effect back in July, so we are just working on last year's budget. So in the proposed budgets that they're fighting over, there is a salary raise for state employees, but we don't know what that will be yet. I will get back pay. We do not know when a budget will be passed. It's probably not going to be this year because I don't even think they're sitting anymore. I don't think the legislature is sitting anymore for the rest of the year. But anyhow, so my paycheck will actually go down by probably, I want to say $60 or $70 next month, which isn't a huge amount, but it's just that unknown going forward. If I do end up getting a raise, my healthcare expenses are going to be even more because it is tiered. The healthcare costs are tiered based on your salary, and I am right at the top of one range right now. So if I get any sort of salary, even if it's like a 0.5% raise, that's going to bump me up to the next salary band where my healthcare costs will step up again. So even though I know in my mind, like mathematically, it doesn't end up being that much of a difference, it's still like that emotional tie and uncertainty of what's going to happen. And our Christmas spending has not been super exorbitant this year. It's not been horrible, but we are spending a little bit more on helping out the big guy with some gifts for the kids that we were not really planning on helping out that much with. So we will, I'm trying to figure out how to say that in case any kids are watching, but if you know, you know, right? But I did eventually put it over to savings because I kind of thought about it, and I looked at next month's budget with the lower income and where I am in my spending right now. And guys, I'm going to be fine. This is me just freaking out over nothing, and it's going to be fine. So I did go ahead and transfer that over to my savings account, even though it was a little emotionally like I just wanted to hold on to it. So yeah, even after having done this for almost a full year now, I still have those like little emotional freakouts about transferring that money over instead of holding on to it. It's not like it's not still in my account where if there was an emergency I could transfer it back over. But I definitely don't want to be taking money out of savings for anything other than like a significant reason, right? So that's going to be it for my budget review for November. $309.49. That's not too shabby, especially with all the Christmas shopping that is happening. If you're doing a low spend year or month or week, any amount of time, pop down in the comments below. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know your struggles, your emotional freakouts. Let us know your wins. If you were able to save a lot more money or set aside a lot more money than you thought you were able to for this span of time, that's fantastic. We will all celebrate you together. I'd love to see what everyone's doing, what kind of methods you're using for your low spend year. The next video in the series is going to cover not just December, but looking back over the entirety of the year and kind of what I did. And in between now and then, I'm going to get an idea of how I'm going to change it up next year. I am fairly certain I'm not going to reach my savings goal by the end of the year. At the beginning of this journey, paying off the car was a stretch goal anyway, so I knew when I switched to paying myself back for that, that I probably would not be able to completely pay myself back for it by the end of the year either, since it was such a stretch goal. But I want to change it up so that I have a fresh perspective on saving, so I get fresh motivation. Hopefully something maybe a little bit more extreme so I can fast track it, and I will bring you guys along with me on that journey. So if you like videos like this, I will be continuing them, this specific flavor of video for at least one more month, and then we'll see what other kind of financial budgeting nonsense we can get up to for the next year, right? But if you like that kind of content, please like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell. All the things that helps me out. It helps me be able to take the time to make more of these videos because I know that folks out there are watching them and interested. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you the next time. Bye.